Hello and welcome back to the last and final part that we'll be putting to this something we've been working on all week, and it is from the Infinity War and also from Endgame. If you haven't seen either of those films yet, guys, and you haven't seen anything from the new Spider-Man film that's coming out, Far From Home, definitely pause the video here, go and watch them, and come straight back. There's going to be some spoilers because I'll be listening to some reviews. I also will be continuing colouring in this one. I did finish all the basic colour there. Now, as you can see in the top here, the top two panels, they are complete and done. I did those last time, so if you want to go and see how that was actually created and how that was done, and which shading tools and what tools I used to shade this, then definitely go and check that out. But my name is Blut084, BLUT084 Art and Games. I'm here every single day on YouTube, occasionally on Mixer, every day and night over on Instagram. I'm going to be colouring in, sorry, I'm not going to be colouring in because I've done all the colouring. I'm going to be finishing off this time. And what I'll be doing is I'll be doing the same effects that you can see here. I might add a few effects here, but it depends how I really feel about them. I kind of like them the way they are. I might change the background a little bit, but I definitely will. See, as you see these little bits of green here, they're going to be laser beams. They're just sort of, that's just an idea for where I want the laser beam to be, but I will be using the tools down here. The effects tool, which actually isn't, there we go. We've got the light tool, we've got the darker and light tool. You've also got the blur tool. We don't really use that too much, but it does come in handy when you are sort of fading in, fading out things. But I will be using this tool here and this tool here to add a little bit of lighting and to make things pop that little bit more. Say if I was to add a little bit here on the eye, the eye would shine, or pretend, it would act as if the eye was shining. The same with if I was to add a little bit of red, or the same colour around this eye. I will show you later in the video. But I want on, as you can see here, this tools are looking a bit strange. This tool is actually in the texture tools, which is all the way down the bottom here. And in these texture tools, you've got from stars, which I don't really see the point in using them, but I have used them in the past and they're really effective for what you want to use them for. Stamps, loads of different sort of things. This one here is really good for like foliage, bushes and trees and things like that. This one I tend to not use. That's right. This one here I tend to not use too much, but a lot of these textures I sort of pick and choose how and what I want to be using. I want to give this rock here a little bit of an effect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on, because as you said in the last video I showed you each stage, what each panel does. What is that? Shading for that one, so that's what we'll be doing there. And then we've got each panel. I'll just zoom out again so you can see each panel individually. Each panel has its own individual layer. So you've got a layer for just the fine lines, or the lining around what you saw in the first video, and then you go in the second video I showed you how to colour it in and add a little bit of shading. As you can see, the shading is on another layer itself. I try and keep every step of this on a different layer, just in case if I make a mistake I can just erase it and start all over again without erasing the whole thing and then starting all over again, because that is not what you want to do. You do not want to get everything on one layer. So say if I was happy with the colouring of the eyes and the actual mask itself, and I was happy with that, and I was to put the shading on top of that coloured layer there, I would have to delete the whole or erase the whole of the colouring. Even though I was really happy with it, it wouldn't make any difference. I would have to get rid of it and then start again. So that's why you do shading on a different layer. As you can see, the shading looks really weird without any anything on there. So again, if you want to see how I did that, definitely either keep tuned, because I'll be showing you how to do it on this part here and the rest of this, and a little bit of shading, and also I'll be doing in a moment, I'll be starting the texture tools, because I want to get on with a bit of texture before I shade this in, just so I know what the background is and sort of what I'm working with and where the light source may be coming from. I'm assuming the light source will be somewhere similar, same side, because it's all coming from the right side here and the right side here, as you can see. But I probably do the same thing here. I have already shaded this one, so if I was to turn on that layer there and then move it to the very top, if it will, there we go. So you can see where I've already put the shading. I will not be using this layer again, guys, because there's stuff on here that I don't want to keep. So I'll just use this as maybe like a template maybe. But for now I don't need it because we've already done that part of the video. Normally to start off with, that is my base layer. That is how I start things. Just going to put that on the bottom there again. That is what I normally do. I'll start with that layer. I'll go over every single line that I've already done from sketching it and then inking on Tuesday. So sketching on Monday, inking on Tuesday. Wednesday we'll colour the paper version. Thursday and Friday we'll do some digitizing, and then Saturday and Sunday I'll release all of the videos. And if you want to just see this picture complete and finished, definitely go over to Instagram. My name again is Bloot084 Art and Games. I'm here every single day on YouTube, occasionally on Mixer, which is where I'm going to be on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, Friday, Saturday, whatever sort of the weekend time. It's sort of my place to chill out instead of having to really YouTube videos really. YouTube is every day, but Mixer is basically weekends, or if I've got time in the week to sort of just stick on a game. Generally don't. I like to do my art more than I do the gamings lately. I am Art and Games, and you will find VR games and VR art from me as well, so don't forget to check up in the playlist. I've got a playlist in the background, guys, that I'm going to be listening to. Again, spoilers if you haven't seen anything from the MCU. They are talking about 9 changes that retcon the MCU. So don't forget to tune in and listen to them in the background. If there is Scatty and the video that I'm going to be listening to starts to bug out, what I'll do is I'll pause it, like I did in the last video. Again, I do apologise for that. I'm working on one screen at the moment, so I can't record what I'm seeing and work on the picture at the same time, so I have to do it this way, as everything's working on the one PC. Sometimes I get a bit of lag and things like that, so if that does become a problem, guys, I'll pause it. And just to pre-warn it, I do apologise if that happens through the video. But if it does, all you got to do, guys, is fast forward a couple minutes, and I would have sorted that problem. Yeah, so keep watching. This is Mr. Sundays, and he's brilliant. So don't forget to tune in on his streams. If you want a link to where his channel is, then definitely ask me in the comment section down below. This isn't live, guys, so if you do want to leave a comment, scroll all the way to the bottom and leave me a comment. I'm going to get on with the textures. Don't forget to keep looking in the bottom corner, that is the right corner, so you can see which tools I'm picking out. Otherwise, if you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comment section down below. I will give you an explanation as much as possible as I go along, as I always do. Otherwise, keep watching.
Comic books are no stranger to retcons, Mason. You know that.
They love them. It's their bread and butter.
They're getting quicker and quicker as well, aren't they? It's like there's always a universe reset every.
I think so, because they want to make it more like the movies.
Unless the movies are bad, in which case they want to make it less like the movies.
And then they want to kill somebody to add some drama, and then the next person who's writing the book wants to use that character, so they just bring it back to life.
It's good, isn't it?
No, it's a nightmare.
Well, you know what else is a nightmare, Mason? The bloody MCU.
No, it's a dream, if anything.
What are we talking about this week? This video. What are we doing again?
MCU retcons?
Retcons, that's it. I remember.
Now, you're saying potential retcons in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because...
Well, there's been things that have been set up and then changed. And some of them have just been plot points that have happened, but some things have been like, oh, you clearly didn't think of that initially and now it's been altered.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything here that's game-breaking, but I've got a list. A list of 8. Doesn't sound very good. A list of 10, let's say.
No, you know what? It's a list of 8.
Okay.
I'm sick to death. But why do we always have to round it up?
Good point.
Let's have it's still an even number as well.
So
we're at 9, I'll be very upset.
Yeah, it's not a good one, is it?
I used to have to turn my radio to an even number.
I had a friend who I used to live with, and she hated that. So whenever she's watching TV, I'd just walk in the room and I'd change it to
13
to
or whatever.
an odd number. And then
very
leave.
good.
Yeah. We're not friends anymore.
That's why we never live together, I feel.
That's right. This one is actually the first one, number 8. It's a very recent one. It said that Loki wasn't actually evil entirely when he tried to take over Earth.
Right.
That he was being influenced by the Mind Stone.
Okay, so the Mind Stone was in the scepter he used to help him attempt to take over the world, and he could use it to mind control Hawkeye and Professor Sklarzenblag and various other members of S.H.I.E.L.D. and various people.
Yeah.
And so I think that what they're saying is that the energies from the staff also influenced his own mind. without
Yes.
him knowing. So he was just a man of mischief, and then the staff was like, "You're also a killer. You're
Yeah.
gonna pull that guy's eyeball out."
Definitely. Yeah. There's also a bit of because you see when he comes through the portal, he doesn't look well,
That's true.
and
yeah,
that could just be a transportation thing.
could have space madness.
Could have space madness. I mean, he did fall through space for a really long time, presumably. But a lot of people kind of hate this retcon. I'm indifferent because he's become this character that he's not really a villain anymore anyway.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's kind of more in line with this character to say this than he was evil and then he was like, nah, I'm all right.
That is
Because
true,
he
yeah.
dug a man's eye out.
he really did.
Plus,
yeah.
he tried to 9/11 New York again. So
Yeah. What did he do prior to the Avengers, the first one?
he was trying to take over Asgard. He wanted to kill his dad or whatever. But who doesn't?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, this might be 9 because you mentioned the scepter. I don't think that was necessarily thought to be the Mind Stone initially. Was that the idea?
I feel it was. I always got the sense from that movie that it was just a weapon he'd been handed. It was some sort of cosmic, super high-tech weapon.
And didn't it also have, because it channeled the powers of the Tesseract? Wasn't that the idea
Yeah,
of it?
more of it was a key.
Steve and Dave use eToro to invest in the financial markets. Steve does research on global investment opportunities. Dave does
Sorry about that, guys. That was an advert.
Yeah.
Device. And I think for some, the next stage of Marvel movies, they went, we've only got this many movies left and we've got to introduce all the remaining stones.
Yeah.
Let's just say one was in the scepter as well.
Okay, so that was numbers 9 and 8.
Okay.
So we're well on the way. Next up, we've got Gamora being the last of her species. It's said that she's the last of her kind. But then Thanos in Avengers bloody
Infinity War.
War.
Yes.
I can never remember which is which, Mason. There's a lot of movies, isn't there?
It's
Just
not that
in
many movies.
general. I mean, in
no,
general.
there's heaps. Yeah, there's actually.
I'm having a bit of a lag problem like I was last time, so I'm going to pause that there for a second, so I can get this done in the background. Shading doesn't tend to be so much of a problem, but because they're using a tool, it's a heavy on the computer. Graphical wise, or the CPU, or the graphic cards, whatever you call them. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm playing around with things at the moment. It's looking a bit like a poop brown at the moment, but I'm trying to give it a dirt look. Or a background dirt look. I don't know if it's working though. What do you think? So much easier that's going down. Now I've turned that video off. I should have had something playing in the background. Actually doing this in the evening more than I would now. Normally I do it in the evening. Do all this in the evening, get it done. Get that there. I'm not going to go mental with the background. It is only the background after all. It just helps to bring the picture to life. I think that's looking alright. Might do a little bit of shapy stuff on the bottom there. So I'll grab this tool here for the textures and then go to another layer. The go background, and then we'll go background all. So that's 2 different layers. One for the foreground of the background, and then a layer for the other. Go a bit smaller and make it a little bit more darker. Start shading in now at the bottom. Just adds a little bit more to it, gives it more depth. I think it does. Again, I'm using the mouse, and this app again is completely free, so if you want to get it for yourself and have a go at digital art the same way I do, don't forget to go and check that link that should be down below. If there isn't, it means I haven't put it there yet. So don't forget to ask me for that link. Or if you just want to find it yourself, it is called Krita, Krita. Spelled exactly like that. So go and check it out for yourself. Okay, so I'm happy with the way that's looking. I might turn that there and go over here a second, just for a little bit more of a darker tone in the corners, but give it slight textures, as if it's sort of there but not quite. Or look at it but don't concentrate on it. That's all the background is. It's just wow, the background. Got quite fed up with just doing single pictures. That's why I've done a panel this time. Okay, so that's looking okay to me. Oh, forgot about this piece up here. What layer is that on? Background on. So we'll use this here. I'll make it a bit smaller, a little bit more opacity on it. I think I'll make it a little bit smaller again. Again, this is just something flying around, so it doesn't really need to be hugely detailed. It's only a comic. I say that, but there's a lot of detailed comics out there. If I was a professional, that's probably what I would do, but I'm not a professional. Not even close. Just adding in textures, adding in shading, that's all I'm doing. I do apologise that video is not playing as well. I want to get it done. I don't want to have to wait around and make this lag out. Lag, not slag. I'm not swearing, guys. Do apologise. Fast forward to good bits if you don't want to sit here and wait. But this is how I do everything. There we go. This needs a little bit of texturing here as well. Notice here where I'm not going over it, but I'm still able to go in the same space as it is. Again, I'm not going to go mental on that bit. Just wanted to look similar to what I've already put down. That's good enough to me. Right, let's go shading. What happened here? I think that's a bit smaller. Yeah, so let's start shading. I'll just go into... I knew I wanted to go straight to digital because I know which one I'm going to use, but you can go in effects. I won't be using that in the air. I'm going to digital, all tools, and I'm going to spray or soft airbrush. It's actually really good for shading. Just pick the right layer. Panel 1. So we got so we got panel. There we go. Right, shading. We'll turn down the opacity a little bit. Oh, actually, I don't want to have that. I want to have red. So, color pick tool, color pick. Go there. Go here. Go there. Not going to worry too much about where I go for a minute because all of this was shaded. So that's what I'm going to do now. Because it's on a shaded layer, I don't want to delete everything. Like I was saying earlier, I can just get rid of stuff like that. It won't go anywhere. Or the main part of the picture won't go anywhere. I can just cut off the stuff that I don't want. That's my son you can hear in the background. He should be in bed, but he's not. Saturdays. Saturday, Mr. Sunday.
He kills half a race.
And remember in Driving Miss Infinity War? I'm always doing that.
It's complicated.
There's heaps.
Yeah, but he kills half a race, which maybe he then went back and killed the other half or something else happened to them. But he also says later that the planet was thriving.
Yeah, right.
That being said, I feel like he's not the kind of guy that goes and checks on the things that he does.
No, and his definition of thriving might be
Just pure death.
yeah, maybe.
Yeah. What do you think? But do you think that's a retcon or a mistake, or do you think that's just a
I think
little
that's
oversight?
Well, maybe it's referring to like maybe Gamora is maybe a member of some sort of warrior caste or something like that.
Okay.
Like maybe it's a subgroup that she is not
Cool.
part of.
Like fans of ska, like they like music.
Yeah.
But it's a specific type of music.
And there's only one guy left.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you're right. Or probably, you're probably right. He didn't go back and check. Maybe the fact that all their families were dead
Made them sad.
It made them very sad.
And they ran out of corn.
They ran out of corn.
Happens, man.
Yeah.
There's also the way that they kind of cast characters and the look of characters changes a person in a way. We've got recasts, obviously. Like we've got Rhodey. And we've got the Hulk was recast, but that's a recast, that's not really a retcon. But then you've got the look of Thanos, because he kind of goes from this purpley, kind of big-chinned monster to a slightly different pinkish, purpley, big-chinned monster. Yeah. Like his armor changes, his look changes over the films. Because even if you see him in Guardians of the Galaxy, he's different than when he shows up in Infinity War.
I think it's interesting that they went with the armorless look for Thanos in Infinity War.
Well, the idea was he was getting more powerful and he was so...
And he didn't need it anymore.
Shedding them,
okay, that's interesting.
I mean, it turns out he got hit with that axe. He probably could have done with some, some armor.
Yeah.
But he was on this spiritual journey. It was part of him shedding the person that he was and killing everybody, basically, or half of everybody, I should say. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think that's that big a deal. That's movies, isn't it?
Yeah, and I also think probably, at a certain point, as with a lot of the post-credit sequences... Not a lot, but a couple I think might have been a case of like, we'll see if people are excited about this. And if people aren't, we'll make him a minor villain in maybe one movie. And if people are excited about it, we go the whole hog kind of thing.
It's like the leader who was foreshadowed in The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, right, yes.
Remember?
Sort
Tim
of,
Blake
yeah.
Nelson got radiation dripped on and his head started to grow.
Oh, yeah, right.
And presumably he just died.
Yes, that's probably true, yeah.
just burnt his brain. Just melted it.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got the Mandarin. This is definitely a retcon.
Oh, this is one of my least favorites that has turned into one of my most favorites, but at the same time, it's now it's gone all the way back around. It's my least favorite again. I'll explain why.
Please do.
Well, so in the first Iron Man, Tony Stark is kidnapped by agents of the Ten Rings terrorist organization,
Yes.
which is a little nod to his arch nemesis in the comics, the Mandarin, because he's got 10 rings of power,
Yes.
which are like high-tech alien weapons things.
He loves them.
Then there's a couple more references to him, and then in Iron Man 3, we get a mysterious villain called the Mandarin, who is played by
Benjamin Kingsley.
Sir Benjamin Kingsley, who is like this weird southern preacher.
Yeah. This amalgamation of different religions and beliefs.
And who claims to be the Mandarin. But then it's revealed, of course, he's not really the Mandarin at all.
Yeah.
He's just some drunk actor who's been hired to portray a weird villain by Guy Pearce. The actor Guy Pearce.
Yes.
Which is a real
It was actually Guy Pearce's idea as well.
I heard, yes, I remember
life,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. So I hated that twist. But then a year or so later, in one of the Marvel one-shots, which appears on the Marvel DVDs, we got a short story where Ben Kingsley's character is attacked and removed from prison by henchmen of the real Mandarin, who presumably is still out there and wants.
He's insulted that he's used his name and all this kind of thing.
right.
Also, Guy Pearce screamed, "I'm the Mandarin!"
That's true, he did. Then he exploded, I think.
Yeah, but then he wasn't. Also, Ben Kingsley was supposed to die at the end of that movie. He was supposed to ingest some of those drugs and explode.
Oh,
Like,
right.
That was his initial fate. But
Yeah, right.
I can't see them bring back the Mandarin anytime soon.
That's why it's turned all the way around to I'm
Yeah.
annoyed by it again, because
Okay.
I would have loved to see that character. Again, it's a bit like if your favorite Batman villain was the Joker, as I'm sure it would be for a lot of people, but then it turned out at the end of The Dark Knight that he was just some sort of party clown who showed up, and the real villain was that accountant earlier on in the film who decided he'd reveal Bruce Wayne's true identity.
That sounds pretty
You'd be
good.
like, that's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't like Iron Man 3.
No.
Timeline retcons.
Okay, I'm ready.
Like and subscribe, everybody.
Like and subscribe before we get bogged down in very small timeline discrepancies that nobody actually cares about. But let's go.
I'm not going to go into it because we did a video on this very
Yeah.
thing. But basically, there was an official Marvel timeline which kind of tried to fix the mistake made from Spider-Man Homecoming, but it just creates further mistakes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get into it. That's number whatever we're up to.
Easier solution, just change the time mistake in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Yep.
One
No.
change.
I think they're going to change it again. I think
Alright,
it's
okay.
going to, because it doesn't make sense, but at the same time, I don't care that much. We did a video on it. But speaking of Spider-Man, though, Spider-Man or Peter Parker actually shows up in Iron Man 2.
That's what they say, isn't it?
That's official now, apparently. He's the kid in the Iron Man mask that Tony Stark saves
At
from
the Stark Expo.
from various robots.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's fine. I'm okay
Yeah.
with it.
Do you think the kid now gets an additional... Do you think they've changed his IMDb credit? Do you think he gets some sort of residual because he's now future Spider-Man?
That's a very good
I
question.
hope so, but no. The answer's no.
Yeah, I don't mind that actually. I like this. It's a nice little retcon. It doesn't affect anything at all.
That's true,
It
yeah.
adds, if anything, it adds a little bit to Peter Parker's story
And
of
it
why
should-
he idolizes Iron Man.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah. So yeah, it's fine. Next up, we've got the Eye of Agamotto. You familiar with this?
The Eye of Agamotto is the eye medallion that
Yes.
Disco Stu himself, Doctor Strange, wears. In the comic books, it's more of a general...
All-purpose.
It's an all-purpose magical spell energy device.
Mm-hmm.
But in Doctor Strange, the movie, it's the housing for the Time Stone.
Yes.
And presumably without that, it's useless? I don't know.
I don't know either.
Hmm.
Well, it's not useless. Well, Thanos uses it in the glove.
Oh, no, I mean the Eye of Agamotto is useless.
Oh, yeah,
Without what does it do when
It's
it's,
just
not
a
holding...
Tupperware container.
Oh, cool.
It's
Terrific.
a fancy Tupperware container.
Okay, right. We well, don't want your Time Stone to spoil, do you?
No, absolutely not. But that turns up in the first Thor in Odin's vault,
Yes.
along with a bunch of other stuff.
Including a
Fake
Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah.
That being said, a lot of that shit is fake, apparently.
Yeah, right.
Like that gauntlet's fake. Also, the gauntlet changes look. You see Thanos put it on in at the post credits of Age of Ultron, and then when he shows up in in Avengers Miss Daisy.
Yeah.
He's got it's different. It looks different.
Well, I mean, some things go in and out of fashion very quickly. One of those is gauntlets.
That's very true.
So you had to update that gauntlet. You
Yeah.
had to send it to his gauntlet guy. That giant Peter Dinklage man. It'd be like, take the tassels off.
I look ridiculous.
Look ridiculous in this.
This is very 2014.
Oh my god, this is so wide. Skinny gauntlets are in now. God damn.
This last one, I'm interested to think what you think of this, or anyone thinks of this. That it turns out in Captain America, the Winter Soldier, just everybody's Hydra. Like half of everybody, if not more.
Yeah.
SHIELD is 80% Hydra, maybe.
Yeah.
It's at least half.
Nobody noticed before this somehow?
Nobody seemed
Wild.
to. Also, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., apparently it stems back like thousands of years. It's this very old secret society that's kind of that's been around for a really long time. So that in itself is also a retcon.
Do you think that the members of Hydra themselves were all aware of each other? Or do you think when they were like, Hydra, reveal yourselves, they were like, you're from Hydra too, oh my god.
They got so much in common.
Oh my god, that's why I shared the lunch table with you, because we're both Hydra.
I mean, maybe not, because I find it hard to believe that nobody figured out this secret organization, or nobody just accidentally leaked it.
Yeah.
Also, it's barely, a lot of the people who are in it just seem to, they don't really acknowledge the Nazi side of it like Robert Redford. They just think it's like a club that they're in. I think most
maybe
people
that's true, yeah.
don't even know it's purely evil.
And they're like, now kill all your workmates. And they're like, wait, we do what now?
I thought it was a pizza club thing.
I thought it was a pizza club.
Unlike the Mandarin twist, when this happened, I didn't go, bullshit.
Yeah.
When it happened, I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. And then Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had to deal with it, and then they sort of dealt with it in future movies, but not really. At the start of Age of Ultron, they're just like, yeah, we got most of them.
Got all the Hydra guys, don't worry about it.
There's a few of them still out there, because a couple of them turn up in Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man.
Oh,
and
yeah,
whatever.
that's right.
And they'll probably show up again. But I'd imagine it's going to be the same for a lot of Skrulls, where it's like, oh, a lot of these people have also been Skrulls.
Yeah,
So,
right. I see. Sure. Sitwell, remember we threw him off a roof or whatever?
Yeah.
Well, now he's a Skrull too. He's back and he's a Skrull.
Yeah, so that's 9 of the bloody retcons that we've got. But if anyone else has got any other retcons, or anyone's got any ideas of, like, do these break anything? I don't know. Do they? I don't know. Do they?
I don't know, but people in the comments will tell us.
They'll certainly have an opinion. Some people will, but some people will just probably already turn this off, to be honest.
Some people hit that bell button, right? Is there
That's a thing that you can
that
do.
bell.
Yeah. If you want your phone lit up with recommendations or notifications or whatever.
I do.
I don't. I never do that.
I do.
But people can.
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, we have videos every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. We also have a podcast called The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. That's all linked below if you want to check that out, along with some other videos like that timeline one, as mentioned. Mason is at Wikipedia Brown on Twitter.
That's right.
I feel like I should do that more in the videos. I don't do that enough. And I'm at Mr. Sunday Movies. So if you've got something to say,
Say it to
why
our
don't you bloody
faces.
say it.
Say it. Why don't you say it? What are you, chicken? Be nice, though. I mean, come on, be nice.
All right, guys. See you soon.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye. There is a new Avengers movie upon us. It's an exciting time for if you're a fan of movies or
Avengers?
Avengers,
Avenging
really.
things?
Avenging things. That's exactly it. According to the new Marvel timeline, which we're going to get into, this movie must be set in the latter part of 2017, as it comes at least partially after the events of Infinity War, which may throw another spanner into the works of the new timeline that has been outlined recently.
A time spanner.
Are you familiar with this?
Let's say I am, but for the layman out there who isn't, maybe you could explain it slowly in a manner that I, representing the layman, could understand.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain this new timeline very quickly and then point out why a lot of this still doesn't make any sense.
Okay, terrific.
Because who are any of us but weird, nitpicky nerds who spend too much time on stuff that nobody should care about?
Yeah, that's our bread and butter.
That's a genuine question. And who are we other than that? The answer's nothing.
Oh, no. You're right, I couldn't think of anything.
Okay, we've got Captain America, the first Avenger was 1943 to 45.
What about the Big Bang
Are we going that far
Theory,
back?
which is in continuity with the Avengers?
Is it?
No.
It's not on Captain America's list of things to catch
I don't
up
think
on?
so, no. But also, it's a Warner Brothers property, so unlikely.
Oh, they can't, can they?
No.
This isn't in the official thing, but it looks like Captain Marvel is set in 1995.
Yes.
2010 is Iron Man, so it's not 2008.
Oh,
They've
right.
shifted that up.
Wow, the far future of 2010 back then.
What a year! What an
Oh,
era.
so this isn't... Presumably when it came out, it was set in about 2008, but they've moved it
Yes.
up to fix some continuity errors.
Yes, but in doing so, there's been other problems.
Incredible.
Created. 2011 is Iron Man 2, The Incredible Hulk, Thor, which is also the year that Thor came out, actually. So that that
Ties
lines up
perfectly. Oh, perfect. That gives Thor time to grow into his eyebrows. You know?
It does, yeah.
No?
For
those
people,
weird eyebrows?
Yeah, for those people who don't know, they dyed his eyebrows for the first Thor.
Yeah.
And once you see that, you realize why it's so off-putting.
Yeah, it's monstrous.
Yeah.
He looks like the villain.
He does. So Iron Man 3 was 2012. So those movies are 10, 11, 12.
Mm-hmm.
And also The Avengers, obviously, which came out just before Iron Man 3. Then we've got Thor The Dark World in 2013.
Yes.
Then we've got Captain America The Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, 2014.
Despite being filmed years apart,
Yes.
they are set in the same year.
Yes.
Terrific.
So the post-credits for Guardians, where Groot's a teenager, is set closer to Infinity War.
Okay,
Just so
then.
people
so,
know.
so 1 and 2 are set close together.
Yeah.
Then there's a time jump between the end of Guardians 2 and the closing credits of Guardians
Correct.
2. Okay, great.
And then they make jokes about how Peter Quill got fat in between, if you remember,
nice.
in
Yeah,
The
nice.
Avengers.
Yes. Nice.
I don't think he's fat. I think he's
He's still pretty
he's
ripped.
still pretty ripped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they were just being mean, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
2015 is Avengers Age of Ultron.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then Ant-Man. 2016 is Captain America Civil War, Spider-Man Homecoming, which is the movie responsible for this
This horrible
shifted
time travel
timeline,
debacle.
yeah.
Now, why is that? Is it something that's said in the movie, or is
Yeah.
it?
Okay, so we've got a little bit of lag as well from where I'm shading this in. So I'm going to pause it there again and carry on going. But hopefully you are following along what I'm doing. I'm also going to say this because that's the Apple going, "Well, I don't understand what's going on. Ah." Because we're in small areas, I wanted to keep it the way it should be. Or the way I want it to be. Damn it. I'm not in any way a professional, guys. I just like to colour in. Practice, practice, practice. Get my shader tool. Oh, that's way too big. Thinking about it in hindsight, I really should have put the blue and the red on different layers, but because there were so many layers, I didn't do it that way. Did this one. Look at all the shading I put there already. Right, so we've got the main part of Spider-Man done. We just got to do the gold, and then we can start moving over to just doing the light. Did the arms very well. I don't seem to be able to do them very well at all on these, the arms. But I'm not very good at drawing mechanical bits. I'm not very good at drawing anything, really. Well, I don't think so. Right, let's get that going again.
We'll come back
Okay,
to it,
right.
but yes, it is. 2016 into 2017 is Doctor Strange, because that takes place over a year or so.
Because of
Bernie Taupin.
You must be Elton?
She packed my bags.
I like your
last
lyrics.
night.
I could hear the whole tune in my head. It was all there. I could see all the notes.
It's time for you to be out front.
I'm so scared.
Elton John! And I think it's gonna be a long, long time.
Be brave. Think.
some events that happen in that movie and some references, a lot of people were like, when is this set? Is
Yes.
it set in the past? But it's not.
It's not. And then in 2017, we got Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and of course, Endgame. It's a full slate.
It is a full slate.
So, that's fixed some continuity errors.
Terrific!
But not others.
Oh no, has it opened up more continuity errors?
I don't know what the official metrics are.
Yeah, right.
But let's say yes or no. But the big one that still doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I've had enough of that. Right. I have no idea if you can even hear me. Probably not. None of this seems to work properly. And it's Saturday night and I don't really want to do it. It's easier without having a thing playing in the background. I explained at the beginning why I've not got it on. It's slowed the computer down. I don't want that when I'm drawing. It's making them look worse. I think. That'll do. I can't be bothered. Right. Pick colour, pick the green. So I can do shading for that one. Okay, so I'm about ready to start putting some light shade on there now. So let's go to the effect part. On here. FX. And we'll pick the light tool, I think. So we'll colour pick those light bulbs, like light streaks alike. We'll go for a real nice light green, really bright green. It really comes up. I think what I'll do is I'll use this small tool first, see how that works out. that layer first would be good handing. Might turn that down a little bit actually. Just go to the opacity, turn it down a smidge. Just get a nice straight line. It's on the background now, so it won't affect anything. A little bit on the red. Makes it glow a little bit. Gives it a semi-neon look to it. I can make it a lot better looking, but I'm just trying to get it finished and done so it's ready for you here on Sunday. It is Saturday here and I'm finishing this off Saturday evening. It's now 11 o'clock, so I'm going to be getting done with this very soon. Hopefully you'll have enjoyed it, guys. I probably will add a little bit to it as later on in the weeks coming on. But for now, I'm just doing this one. Okay, something's just happened. If that is Critter deciding it's going to freak out, no, it's okay. Yep, that's Critter just closed the other file. That's one thing Critter doesn't do it very often, but because I'm overusing my computer, I think it's gone and shut one window down. Hopefully that's saved, so I'm going to grab that quickly again. But I think we're done. But it does give you a good comparison of what I've already done. So let's open that one. Hopefully it's the right one. Just gone and got rid of that one there, guys. Purely because there we go. There's a big change, eh? I don't like. It's just annoying the computer, so I'm shutting things down now. Let's get it done. Let's get it finished. You just saw me put the lights on there, and now a little bit here. Okay, no, we want to go underneath. We want to go underneath the construction lines, so go back to this shade layer. That's the wrong shade layer. Different panel. Now you see the difference. Why I put the panels in? Is that right? Yeah. I put shading a little bit here, a little bit here. Makes it glow a little bit, or appear to glow. And I think that's that. I'm going to quickly save what I just did. And say I'm done. Give you a zoom in on that one and give you a comparison what I did and what I didn't do. So there's what it did look like, and here's what it does look like now. Not much of a change. I still need to put the writing in here as well. But we put the lighting, like I said at the very beginning when I was doing the sketch version. I wanted to put a light effect here. I'm not really happy with it, but it's done. It's finished. I think it'll do for now. I can add more bits to it, but you can see where I put the shading here. You can definitely see where I put all the shading here. Might need a little bit more shading. What do you think, guys? Do you like it? If you do, don't forget to leave me a like. Again, you can see this picture. It will be available on Sunday evening for you guys to check out. If you don't and haven't seen and you can't see everything in full quality, you should be able to, as now this is recorded. Don't forget to tune in again on Monday, where I will be live and doing a different picture and doing something from one of my fans asked me to redraw one of his pictures. So I'm going to try and find him over on Instagram, give him a heads up over on Instagram, say hi to him as soon as I've posted that one there. But if you want to just check this one out, my name's Blut084, BLUT084, Art and Games. I'm here every single day on YouTube, occasionally on Mixer, which is where I'm going to be in a moment, playing a few games, and every day and night over on Instagram. It's the same name over on YouTube and as well as on Mixer, but the only difference is over on Instagram I'm Art Games instead of Art and Games. Same name, different place. Otherwise, guys, click the links that will appear, and I'll see you next time for some more digital art. But first, to start off, sketching on a Monday, inking Tuesday, Wednesday will be colouring in of the paper version, and Thursday and Friday we start the digital version. Live will be Thursday, Friday I start digitising, recording, and on Saturday and Sunday I release those videos. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. If you're a fan of any games or any VR art that I'm getting up to, or you have a challenge for me art wise, definitely let me know in the comment section. All I can say is thanks for watching, and bye bye for now.